Well, our Focus report this Tuesday takes us to the streets of Sicily, streets that have been the empire of the Italian mafia for decades. The activities of the crime syndicate known as Cosa Nostra continue to have a negative impact on the economy and on local fortunes.
The sun rises over Palermo. This morning, something different is going on. Down at the port, students from all over Italy are disembarking with one sole objective: to say no to Cosa Nostra. Amongst them, right at the front, is Maria. Her brother, the anti-mafia judge Giovanni Falcone, was assassinated in 1992 by Cosa Nostra. Since then, she has dedicated her life to rallying the Sicilians into action against organised crime.
La mafia è soltanto con l'attività di tutta la società civile che può essere sconfitta.
26 years after her brother's assassination, she still feels the loss. Today, Maria manages a foundation named after her brother. Her mission is to inform and educate younger generations of the dangers of involvement with the mafia.
The fight against the mafia has to come with a revolution within civil society. We need a society that can eliminate the behavior patterns that feed the mafia. And faced with silence, we must encourage the desire to speak out.
Encouraging people to speak out is not an easy task in this city that still carries the stigma of Cosa Nostra and its criminal history. The Brancaccio neighbourhood is a disadvantaged area in the suburbs. It has one of the highest criminality rates in Sicily. This is where we find the bar owned by Antonino, who has first-hand experience of mafia extortion.
One day, these two guys walked in. They asked for money. At first, I didn't understand. And then they explained it was for the family of imprisoned mafia members. Then they told me how much money I would have to hand them over every month. They also said I had to pay an extra 10,000 euros of so-called back payments because my business had never paid any extortion money.
After repeated threats, he decided to press charges. That was 10 years ago, and since then, Antonino lives under police protection.
I've learned to live with fear since I've been under escort. But one day I won't have it anymore, and I'll be vulnerable again. They could come back to intimidate me. But I'll tell you something. If they ask me for money, I won't give them a thing.
The church of Brancaccio is a few streets away. It is the old parish church of Father Pino Pugliese, who was killed by the mafia in 1993, an assassination that profoundly shocked the country. Since then, Father Maurizio has taken over, but their neighbourhood still has problems.
Here
there are no public spaces for the population. There's no square, no park, no playgrounds, nowhere where the children can grow up in a positive environment. They live on the street, and there's this myth that the mafia help and protect the poor.
In order to combat this criminal cultural background, Father Maurizio has transformed his church into an anti-mafia bastion. But in a region where youth unemployment is close to 60%, the battle is far from won.
Here we have so many problems, and the mafia is one of them, because the youngsters are easy prey, and the mafia pick them up as a workforce.
A workforce employed to carry out the criminal activities of Cosa Nostra. Corleone, a village 60 kilometers from Palermo, is one of the Cosa Nostra strongholds. It was from here that the Corleonese clan led a reign of terror in Sicily during the 80s. But things are changing, and now Corleone has an anti-mafia centre.
Here we see the 1979 assassination of the judge Cesare Terranova, who had investigated a mafioso from Corleone and sentenced him to life imprisonment. He was abandoned by the state and didn't even have an armoured car.
The centre exhibits photos of numerous assassinations and bombings carried out by Cosa Nostra in Sicily. But Outside the museum, nobody dares to talk about the existence of the mafia.
You are asking me questions to which I cannot reply.
We don't know anything at all. Everything is fine in Corleone, that's all.
What mafia are you talking about? I've never heard of it.
I don't know anything, and I don't want to know.
According to Italian investigators, the clans may have renounced violence, but the mafia reign is far from over.